day through his speech on how prosperity evolves. He asks the audience to evaluate his speech based on better flow and confidence. He hopes you enjoy it. Please help me welcome Mandar.
Does anyone know here what an ignoble savage means? An ignoble savage is someone who finds the worst in every possibility. Those are the pessimists out there who thinks that the world is drowning in the midst of adversities and all the worst things are happening and we are being buried under the imposter syndrome of being not going anywhere. Respected fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, today I am here to instill optimism in you. We have been facing tough times. There is a surge in pandemic over the last few months. The new variants are coming and hopefully this will continue forever. The climate change has taken unprecedented flow in the path and we are heading towards drastic change in temperature and global warming as such. But I'm not here to tell you what you already know. I'm here to give you facts which tells us that we are living in a modern world which has been better, not just because we have lots of technological advancement through fluke, but there has been a systematic improvement in our lifestyle as compared to the arduous and hard life full of hardship of our ancestors. So why do you think we are evolving as a prosperous community? The only reason, and one of the prime reason, is we are able to trust each other. The countries which have the tendency of high trust capacity and high trust index among one another are the most prosperous nations. For example, Sweden has 65% of trust among each other, and they are considerably rich in that priority. On the other hand, Peru has just 5% of trust index among their people, and no wonder it's still lagging behind in the index of prosperity. When civilizations started 10,000 years ago, it was a time of self-reliance among people. But as exchange started, people began to trust each other more. And there was a gradual shift from self-sufficiency to interdependence. And interdependence of different specializations. Take a look around yourself and see there are people with different professions. Some are good, some are doctors, some are business owners. Some of us have specializations which the other person have no idea about. And this has led to the fact that we don't have to be rich to be prosperous. We can afford to be poor because we have various services at our hand provided by people around us, which helps us to get things at lower cost. For example, imagine a day in 17th century. There was no proper resources in terms of getting all the basic necessities of life. If you get up early in the morning, we used to depend upon getting a good source of food. And then over the time, the Neolithic revolution happened, which led to the improvement in agricultural practices. We as humans became much more prominent in our approach on how we could use the minimum land and grow huge amount of crops and have less time to just focus on things that really mattered. But now is the time that we have just 1% of people who are in agricultural field, and roughly around 24% of people in manufacturing sector. And the rest, 75%, provides all the services which helps us to not only get better at our lifestyle, which doesn't help, not only does help in getting us better at our lifestyle, but also helps us afford things which we crave for. For example, those 75% includes the businesses, for example, movies, entertainment, fashion, and all. This was not very common before. And as we prosper, as we become more amenable to the challenges around, there is a sure shot way that we are not only moving towards a more prosperous community, but also we are reducing poverty by minimizing the gap between each other. A habit towards interdependence is synonymous to a prosperous nation. For example, all the South African countries, African countries in general, have reduced poverty by almost 60% over the last 60 years. And the reason behind that is not because they don't have any mineral or natural reservoirs in their store, but it's because they are evolving as a better nation with respect to the rule of law, the economic freedom they have, and a tendency to improvise their systems. When you have better things at hand, you tend to be more prosperous. So I urge you all to look for facts and be proud of the fact that we live in this modern world. Thank you.